LeBron had 25 points. 80 did some things. 80 left the game and hopefully is available. It looks like he'll be available for next game. If he wasn't, then I would be very pessimistic about the Lakers' opportunity to win the series if he's out for any period of time here. But if he's available, you can certainly have hope. And what we see on the film here today, I think, can help confirm that or help us understand just how much so LA's in a good shape or bad shape. I think it's always interesting to look at with the Golden State offense, like how are they scoring? How are they generating what they're doing? And so that's too big. Something I've done is just grab their game log data for play types and look at like, all right, how many points are they usually scoring in each scoring play type? What do the possessions look like? What's the points per possession? The percentile for the points per possession for the possessions itself, the points, do a little points over expectation thing, just looking at their normal, transition scoring efficiency. If we applied it to their volume and we compare it to their actual output, yeah, they scored 2.5 more points than we would expect them to have produced, given how efficient they've been on the season in that specific area. And then we can look at the efficiency percentiles. You can see quite a bit of green here. A couple games ago, it was like their worst game of the year from a scoring perspective in each of the scoring play types. If we look at the dribble handoffs, off-screen and cut stuff, their volume was low, their point production was very low, their efficiency was quite low. If we look at balls, pick and roll type offense, the possession volume was fairly low, efficiency was fairly high. What we did see in this game is with the Lakers switching and Golden State ready for the Lakers to be switching, they were very effective scoring in isolation. They were very effective scoring on post-ups. And they were very effective scoring with putbacks, with size mismatches on the inside. Those are three areas that stand out to me. They were also quite effective scoring in transition. And if we look at the point percentile, the points that they scored, the 28 points they scored in that game, higher than 98% of the games they've played this season. Their transition offense was a lot. It was all over the place. And though this is where, going back to some of the stuff I've tweeted out, if we look at where is it? If we look at the defensive rating, or I guess the Golden State offensive rating, when the Lakers made a shot or it was a dead ball, 112.5. Not great, not awful, pretty good. When the Lakers were missing shots last game or the Golden State got a steal, they were unstoppable. And that's problematic. And this is where, in order to improve the defense, if we're trying to root cause some things, we can understand from a data perspective. We haven't even looked at the film yet, but looking at the data, we can understand that, hey, they were more prepared to attack the consistent switching. And in addition to that, this transition point volume that we conceded quite a lot compared to their norm, and is somewhere where if we do a better job on offense, it should help our defense out. If we look at the fast break points, so Synergy looks at transition, fast breaks, 2v1s, 3v2s, not quite as many points, but they still had a good bit. And there was a big differential between fast break points and points off of turnovers for them, which indicates to me that they were getting a lot of secondary break opportunities, which is better captured in this transition number from Synergy. So from a data standpoint, I haven't looked at the film. I want to be looking at the film for the first time with y'all here, but that is a lot of what I am expecting to see. And in the interest of time, rather than looking at every offensive possession Golden State's had, I'd rather look at the half-court possessions they've had, because I think figuring out how to improve the half-court defense will be very important. Now, the transition offense for them was well, but this is the spot where I think we can see more impactful change. So, again, digging in. Where did I put my? Hang on a sec. Where's my pen? I'm looking for the pen I can write with on the screen. I just had it. Where could it possibly have gone? I have not moved. The world. Okay. We'll proceed without that for the moment. Let's look at some of these half court possessions here for the Golden State offense. So to start the game, let's see here. We're gonna get a cross screen. AD does not. Oh man, AD, this is not what you want to see. Hang on a moment. Where's my writing utensil? Did it fall on the ground? I'm sitting on it. That's where it was. Okay. What you generally want to see when you've got this cross screen is AD either bump this guy, take him off his path, or get out of the way and create a window in between. Rather than those two things, we see he's like holding Wiggins, and we've got this huge screen for D'Lo to try to navigate, and that's a problem. So just D'Lo has no opportunity there. And you could say, hey, we'd rather D'Lo trail, but if AD just takes a step back, D'Lo has all this space to cut through here, and that's what he's trying to do. AD's unwillingness to clear some space there results in Clay getting a decent shot. And then when the shot goes up, we see LeBron, no box out. We see D'Lo put a body on Wiggins, but not move him or attempt to move him. So that's not good. And we don't see like Reeves crash down and try to wedge this player in. If you're trying to get better rebounding position, you could get inside position on them and try to push them away from the rim. Or if you're on the outside, you want to get position and then push them under the rim. So anything, most rebounds, they're not going to go this way. They're going to bounce to various degrees. And if you're the guy on the inside, you want to push the player out. So as big an area as possible would be your territory. If you're on the outside and the player's in here, you want to push them in this way and wedge them so that anything going out any of these directions is going to be your ball. And anything there that's going to be their ball. This is something Looney does a really good job of on both offense and defense. Golden State, the frequency, and this wasn't a three, but the percentage of missed above the break threes that resulted in offensive rebounds for Golden State was 18th highest of the 90 games they've played this year. They were able to get second chance opportunities off of some of those long balls. And LA's used to not boxing out. Look at LeBron get back cut here. LeBron gets back cut, offensive rebound. LA's used to just having AD be able to be big and jump and get the board. But when it's on those long rebounds, that's when your guards and your wings become more important. That's where their lack of rebounding tendencies, their box out tendencies really hurt you. And the Lakers won't be winning these games if they're giving Golden State 3-4 opportunities to score. So offensive rebound, kick out, Draymond Green three. Not the worst shot in the world, but this shot shouldn't be there if LeBron doesn't get back cut or boxes his man out. Or D'Lo is able to box Wiggins out a bit better. That was all one possession. Here's Golden State swinging the ball around. LeBron closes out on the high side, giving up this line drive, but AD's there. LA's able to recover. And again, absolutely no interest in trying to contest this. LeBron does, but in theory here, AD should be moving out to that guy, but LA wants LeBron to instead. He kind of gives half of a box out, and then we see Reeves and Vando not communicate. So we've seen 3 shots in the first possession. They're going to get 2 opportunities here in the second possession. On this one, this is just AD's man. He does not move until the ball is caught. He needs to be moving on the pass. He needs to be moving here. And then he'd be in position. He'd be here. This is what I'm talking about with the wedging. Look at Reeves. He's at least trying to get a body in. Draymond's trying to push him out. He's trying to push Draymond in. 6-1 Golden State. Okay, Lakers scored. Get some split action here. Recovery. He's not really ducking in very hard. Draymond makes a silly pass. Yeah, that's not good. What I do like on this play is that Jared Vanderbilt is, happy to rotate off the non-shooter. We need to see more of that. On this play, Austin sticks with Clay. From right here, he's in a pretty good spot. As long as Clay's not able to muscle up to the rim and AD's there waiting, LA's in decent shape. Gets it back to Clay. Good contest. Here's D'Lo trying to box out. Tips it to himself. Good play. Four things we wanted to see from the Lakers with these ball screens. So aggressively help off the non-shooters. Well, hang on. Let me rewind. This is what we wanted to see. Four things. We didn't want LA picking up Steph above kind of this line here. It was easier to draw with the Lakers logo because the Lakers logo ends right there. So that was the first thing. Don't pick up too high because then you create more of a lane for the roll man to roll into regardless of what coverage you're in. The second thing was when you're going around these screens, go under them. If you're going to chase over, this also makes it easier for this roll man to get into that space. Regardless of what coverage you're in. If you're going to switch, go under because then you cut this off. If you're just trying to high drop and recover, still go under because this is where Steph beats you. This isn't where Steph beats you. So you want to be, I don't care where you are currently, you want to get here, and the quickest way there is to go under the screen, not to go over this way. If Steph's running side to side, then yeah, chase over. But given the depth of the screen, that's not really what he's looking for. So those are the first two things. Third thing is, who's the non-shooter? This guy. And this guy. We've got two non-shooters. We want to be aggressively helping off of them. So we don't necessarily need both of these guys, but we see here LeBron's kind of pointing. Vando should be the one helping in here. LeBron, he's going to zone up there on the weak side. And then the fourth element is if there's a screen, we want to push the roll man towards the double side. So with how it's set up right now, perfect. Steph's going to go this way. If Wiggins rolls, he's rolling this side, and we've got two defenders. Great. We're happy with that. If the screen were set the other way, let's say Reeves is here, Steph is here, and he's not the five man, but if the screen's being set this way and Wiggins is rolling this way, there's only one player on this side of the floor. And it'll be much more difficult for him to help and then recover to likely this player lifting up. So that's a tougher assignment. You want to push the roller towards the numbers. You want to go, don't pick up too high. That's 2. You want to go under these higher ball screens. That's 3. And then aggressively help off the non-shooters. That's 4. Those are the 4 things that pregame, and these are things we discovered in the last film review, just like this. Those are the concepts that, again, all 4 of those apply to any coverage the Lakers are running. If you're switching, great. If you're in high drop, great. If you're trapping, great. Hedging, great. All the same thing. I guess going under wouldn't apply to try to trap. But anything else is what you're looking for. And I didn't explain this well. if you're trying to push the roll man, say we're like that. If we're trying to push the roll man to the double side, how do we do that? We do that by icing this ball screen and making it so he can't go. He can't use it. He can't use the screen. If he does, he has to go all the way around, and then it's not effective. This is what we've seen Golden State use time and time again against the Lakers pick and roll offense, more from wing ball screens. But even with these high ball screens, you can ice them, you can weak them. If it's a ball screen from the top of the key, I call it a high ice, or weaking is more a term that you use when you're pushing a player towards his weak hand. When the purpose of it is just to get the roll man to the double side, I'll call it high ice defense. But by doing this, if Steph does come this way, then this is the roll lane, and he's headed towards the double side. So that's what we're looking for. Whenever you're running ball screens in general, you want your roll man rolling down the single side, not the duo side, and that makes it more difficult for the defense to try to tag him. Because if Steph is driving towards the double side and this guy's rolling on this side, if you try to help off and Steph is standing right here and this one guy's trying to guard these two players, he can't. They're too close. The passing is too close. If Steph is all the way over here and the one player's zoning up two, there's more time on a pass for him to recover to one and for the other guy to recover back to the other. So those are the four key concepts. Again, I'm watching this film for the first time. Let's see how it looks. So they didn't pick up too high. Good. Reeves rolls under. Good. Helping off the non-shooter. Good. I mean, that's what you want. That's what you want. This is like a decent position to be in, and Draymond just goes right through Vando and one. So approach-wise, it's like, yeah, no, that's what you want to do. If the guy's going to try to barrel through you, take a charge. But you were in position. That is good process. See this play. This is secondary break. Defense isn't set. Now on this play, it's a little bit different. Rather than being way up high, we have a screen and a roll into an empty side. Why is this an empty side? Because there's nobody over here. There's nobody to be able to like quickly tag and recover. All of the Lakers defense is on this side over here. So if these two Lakers players stay here at the ball handler, this guy's going to have a nice runway to go attack. And then we've got one non-shooter. I would hope 80 kind of hangs out in the paint. And then Reeves and Vando try to take care of these other players. Let's see what happens. Yeah, 80 stays in the paint. We leave the non-shooter open. We're staying on Steph. This isn't a horrible spot to be in. Yeah. Booyah. This is what we want. Again, this is the process you're looking for. If you're going to give up a shot, I want it to be a Gary Payton 3. But he hits it. Now, I don't think you want to give up. Like if you're going to pick someone to take a 3, yeah, make it Gary Payton. I still want to contest it if I can. So you don't approach any game saying, if this guy gets the ball at the 3-point line, we're just like, I think Reeves was like guarding nobody at that point in time. Just, get over to him. Here, again, this is 4-on-5. So, I mean, there's a guy open though. Open, not taking the shot, passes back. Lakers have recovered. Draymond could have taken this if he wanted to. This speaks to their lack of shooting confidence, especially early in the clock. Those are not good shots for them. 5 seconds left. Yeah, we'd rather have that than nothing. Here, Vando gets back cut. Rim protections there. You don't need these two guys though. Somebody's open. See Steph even. He points. He's pointing this way. That guy's open. And Gary Payton tries to pass through LeBron James. Good defense. High ball screen. Ooh, here we go. This is tricky. So far, what do we think is going to happen here? This is looking like screen, So this guy defends here. You roll under. Steph's going this way. That's what it looks like. At the last minute here, he actually flips it to that side, and 80's now out of position. That's why this is impactful. 80's not in position. 80 needs to be a step and a half to his left. And that creates a bit more space for Steph. Austin, not very good screen navigation there. And probably why is 80 right now, if 80's doing his job, he's probably yelling right, 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 right. And then Reeves, you actually see his first move is to his right. And then he realizes, oh no, the guy's on my left. Good concept. Same thing. Which side is he going? Here, 80's in high, looks like a high drop. Dennis goes under. He's looking to recover. He didn't pick up too high. Where's our non-shooter? Our non-shooters are on this side. And then when shooter recovers, 80 gets out of there. That's the intent, at least. Great defense. So right off the bat, the four things that I was drawing up at halftime of the last game that we saw the Lakers implement in the second half of game 4, we've seen carry over to game 5 and have success, process-wise. The one play, they hit the shot. Other times, not as successful. So what do we get here? This is just immediately, we've got cross matches. Dennis is on Draymond. LeBron is on Steph. D'Lo's trying to guard Andrew Wiggins. Not what you're looking for. So in a situation like this, it makes sense for 80 to sag off the non-shooter. Just stay at the rim. We've got two guys guarding bigger bodies. Somehow 80 gets, or Wiggins gets the shot off around 80, and that's not what you're looking for. Okay, just jumped around a bit. Wide pin down for Steph. Defense recovers. Oh, bad jump. Can't jump. There's no reason to jump. Just put a hand up. 80, Steph's not, his release point isn't up here. His release point's down here. And when you put your hands up, you're there already. You're trying to contest a 7-footer jump shot, and that's not necessary. He misses it, but don't jump on those. We saw the Lakers in the popcorn machine this game. Lakers have 2 on the ball. Again, Reeves. Oh, buddy. A pin down. 80's trying to navigate. LeBron goes to help. Reeves helps the helper. LeBron has AD get out of there, which allows Austin to recover, and now we're matched back up appropriately. He jumps. Here we go, cross screen, or it looks like cross screen, but it's actually going into the down screen. This is one of the concepts I drew up in the pregame of game 2, when we were talking about what could Golden State do to counter the Lakers top blocking. Having screens where you can go multiple directions and or having misdirection are ways to go about that. And here we see a play that's a good example of this, where if Rui's trying to defend this action, he's on the right side. He's effectively top blocking. He's trying to deny the use of that screen. But instead of that, we see Clay just use the down screen instead. And now, when you remove the top block, now it comes down to how good of a off-ball screen navigator is Rui. Does a decent job. He's not the best he's not a very good off-ball screen navigator, but on this play, he gets there. He kind of looks like does he jump? The angle's not the best. He's not, he lets Clay get by him, but he's there to contest. For who Rui is and what Rui's good at, hell of a defensive possession from him. That's what you're looking for. Didn't foul, didn't jump. Nice ram action here. When I say ram action, I'm talking about the down screen setting up the ball screen. So Steph Curry screening on Anthony Davis so that Kevon Looney can then run up and set a ball screen over here. What this is doing is it makes it, ties AD up. AD can't trap, AD can't hedge. If AD's in drop, he's still probably moving towards the ball handler as he's getting into position, and that makes him easier to blow by most likely. So let's see how it works out. He's just not even close to getting there. Nowhere close. What we do see, though, is Poole goes too early. Poole's anxious. He sees AD's out of position. He wants to go. But that allows Reeves to just be right there. Great contest. So good concept offensively. Poor execution by Jordan Poole to go a little bit too early, and that negated the advantage. So again, here, going under that screen, AD's high drop and recover. And this is what's key about this. Same positions, but if Reeves is right here, this dump off is available with AD here. But because Reeves is right in the middle of that, this pass that hurt the Lakers in the first half of last game, game 4, isn't there anymore. So this is one of those granular adjustments that has nothing to do with switch versus high drop versus hedge versus trap versus deep drop. This is a little granular technique change. Good top block. AD's there sagging off to help. The Lakers really held down the off-screen shooting attacks. The off-screen attacks, the cuts, the handoffs. Collectively, that group of 3 play types, really low levels of production in this game. At a level that Golden State had only won, I think, 3 other games this season, where they've won 50 games, including this one, and only, I think it was 3 or 4 of those games had they been less productive in those 3 areas. So this was a very unconventional win from this team. And speaking of unconventional, Moses Moody, late clock, 2 on the clock, is going to just pull it on Rui. And this series, man, he's kind of had a similar outburst to Lonnie Walker, where he's outperformed a little bit of what he was in the regular season. And hey, if you're the team benefiting from that, you are not complaining. So really good work from him there. Something I want to point out, since that was a late clock play, if you look at the points per possession for Golden State in the last 4 seconds of the shot clock, game 1. These are late clock shots. You're taking these shots because you can't turn it down and go grab another shot. These are you're having to force it up a bit more. They tend to be low efficiency looks. On the regular season, Golden State's offense scoring 0.86 points per possession. Not good. 33rd percentile compared to all NBA teams. Not good stuff. They shot 29% on their threes the last 4 seconds of the shot clock. Why? Because these are shots they would not otherwise take. They have to take them because they're out of time. In this series, game 1, 0.67 points per possession. Good for the Lakers defense. Game 2, 0.73 points per possession. Still very good for the Lakers defense. Game 3, 0.88 points per possession. It's going up, but those still great numbers for the Lakers defense. Game 4, 0.83. Fantastic for the Lakers defense. This game, 1.08. Golden State was more efficient the last 4 seconds of the shot clock in this game than they had been all series long and in almost any other game of these playoffs. And the efficiency at which they scored in game 5, the last 4 seconds of the shot clock in half-court situations, was on par with how efficient their entire half-court offense was on the season, which is pretty darn good. So they had an outlier game in terms of hitting some of those late clock shots, and that gave them a real nice boost. Is it repeatable? Probably not. So here we see Looney trying to screen to get Steph going this way. Why? Because if Steph goes this way, Looney's rolling, and there's, again, an empty side. That's more ideal for the Golden State offense. So what does Dennis do? Dennis steps out. Dennis says, nope, if you're going to use the screen, you're going to have to stay along the sideline and then roll towards the side of the court that has 3 Laker defenders. That's a better situation for the Lakers defense. So what does Golden State do? Rather than Looney setting the screen this way, which is how he had it set up, he now flips it to be going this way. So rather than him over here trying to screen nobody, and then as Steph drives, Dennis is just right in his pocket. Now there's actually a screen on Dennis. So they'll be able to get some separation. This is one of those ice coverage beaters. There were 11 of them. I tweeted it out last night. I've been covering these concepts since, game 2, game 3. This is one of them. Just not the best screen. Gets a little bit of separation. But you're getting Looney rolling towards the rest of the help. And Rui over here, he needs to be more aggressive with this rotation. He's too late. To me, that's too late. I want him right here. I'd like him to be like at the top of the restricted area in a position where he can still try to recover out, or he can be in a better position to defend this roll. Like he doesn't really get outside the restricted area until Looney catches. And he's still in a decent spot. I think this is okay because Looney's just not that guy from a scoring standpoint. But I would like a little bit more aggressive help. We do see Reeves here. Watch Reeves. As Rui helps over, Reeves drops down. Reeves is responsible for both these guys. Looney he's looking at Poole, so Reeves starts to go that way. As Moody cuts, Looney gets it to him, but AD's there. You cut into the help. We're in a great spot. Great spot defensively. This is what we're looking for. Hand off, we're right there. Absolutely nothing going on. Nothing at all. The defensive player of the year, caliber player, being isolated against by Moses Moody. Great defensive play. So we've seen a lot of good process wins for the Lakers so far. I like this. On screen into the handoff, that's called Chicago action. You might hear that called zoom action. We see the Lakers switch it and basically be able to not quite top block, but push Steph wider around the screen. There's nothing there. Here we get a pull screen, pull midi, no good. I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. Good result for the Laker defense. And by the way, they've gone on a run. Defense is doing well. Here, this is not what you want to see from Lonnie. Push off by Clay, gets around the screen. Lonnie looks to recover with his hands down. 80's kind of there. This is a low degree of contest between these two players. And Lonnie didn't do his job by taking away the screen. Let's take a look at this again. Eyeball screen. Didn't pick him up too high. Went under. The roll's already going to the double side, so no adjustment needed there. Who's the non-shooter? No, shooter. The most non-shooter of the group, so Rui needs to be aggressive with his help. He's there. We do see, because Steph drives, 80's got him. And that's where Dennis veers off. This is a concept I talked about on the film review I did with Sean Davis the other day. If Steph, this is how I think you can have some nuance with your pick and roll defense. If Steph just goes here, Dennis looks to recover, 80's there, and he gets back. If Steph actually tries to drive this, 80 now has him, and as Schroeder, after you've gone under, you're not going to be able to recover. So now it's your job to veer off and switch, veer back and switch onto Looney. You're now responsible for Looney. And that's what we see happen here. Under, he's driving. My job's this guy now. And we see him do it, and we see him get a body into Looney. And so as a result of this, we're home. We're taking away the rim. We're home. And then Rui's in a decent spot against a guy standing still who's not that great of a shooter anyway. Good defense. And guess what? Golden State has 30 freaking points Because guess what we're not watching? I've only pulled up the half court defensive film. This is part of the point I'm trying to make here tonight. The Lakers defense in the half court, not all that bad. We've seen a lot of good. We've seen a couple plays Golden State's hit shots late clock, or it was the guy we wanted to shoot. For the most part, I'd say like A minus half court defense thus far. Yet Golden State has 30 points with 1:09 left in the first quarter because the Lakers offense was not playing well, and that set up Golden State's transition offense. Here we see Dennis chase around just fine. I think Reeves is he hesitates here just for a second because I think he might think he's switching. Able to chase over. Poole engages the defender, so Reeves needs to be veering off. And oh, no, maybe not. Okay. All right. I guess I'm all right with that. I guess because Poole didn't get a little bit lower. Okay. Doing well here. Got no problems. Nothing going on. Split cut. Dennis is right there. No contest though. At least get a hand up. But this is still a difficult shot. This is still a very difficult shot. On the move to your right, catching and shooting, fairly late clock. From a box out standpoint, let's take a look. Let's look at LeBron. LeBron gets a hand into Looney. Okay. Let's look at Reeves. Shot goes up. He looks. Look at Reeves look. He gets Poole in his peripheral vision, realizes he's not crashing. Great. I don't have to care about you. If he was crashing right here, I think we see Reeves pivot and then try to box him out. Rui, shot goes up. Rui looks. Look at Rui's head. Rui looks, sees his man. Board. So good box out behaviors and tendencies don't necessarily always mean a body on a body. If your guy's not crashing, you don't need to put a body on them. If they're hanging out in this mid-range area, I think you don't necessarily want to crash yourself. You want to, how can I best draw this up? You want to control the most ground. So if you want to have inside position on your guy, unless he has the inside position, in which case you want to minimize his space. If there's an offensive player there and Reeves is right here, this is the line. The offensive player has this space, Reeves has this space. And so if you can't get in front of him, you want to push him over and make this space yours. Here, Rui's guy doesn't crash, but he's kind of hanging out. If Rui goes in here, we now have a middle ground that's nobody's space. And that is worse for the defense than if Rui kind of holds his ground here and we know that this is all his space. But his guy, yeah, unless it was a super long rebound, he wasn't really going to go for it. And we're good. Next play, late quarter. Skipping ahead. What happened here? Rui's top blocking the down screen. They tries to go through it anyway. And we've brought a friend to the party, folks. This is the +1 screen I was talking about earlier. Dennis, so Steph on ball. He's driving this way. He's getting a screen from Klay Thompson. Dennis is here. Rui's on top of the screen. So now we've got two players here screening Dennis. That makes Dennis's job a lot harder. Let's see how well he does. Yep. Rui kind of disengages, but that's really difficult to try to navigate. Poole's able to get drive to the rim. Because Rui's on the high side, like he's absolutely not in any position to try to contain. Lonnie's worried about his guy running over to the corner. Reeves says this guy over here. So there's really nobody's left except for LeBron. LeBron's able to make Poole hit the floater, but Poole hits the floater. So that's a good top block counter. We've seen two of them in that first quarter. We saw the play where Again, both of these have been Rui involved. We saw the play where the offensive player, it looked like he was going to use the screen to go this way, but then whoops, there's also a down screen, and he went that way instead. So Rui had this direction top locked. This direction was taken away, but by taking this direction away, he couldn't take away this one. That was the first concept. The second one was that +1 screen. So we've now gotten into, oh wait, no, this is still, okay, so that's the end of the quarter. Let's go to Q2. All right. We're into the second quarter. Cross screen, second screen. Lonnie shoots the gap. That gives up the baseline drive. Rui's in position. Look at D'Lo. So on this play, D'Lo communicates, senses what's going on, and he gets into position for the board. It'd be so easy for D'Lo to just be taking care of this guy and not paying attention, not playing team defense, but he does. Not the hardest of tagged or anything, but just, you know, the little half step that here and there can make a difference. All right, so we've got an offensive foul here. Let's see what happened. We had a high ball screen with the switch. Screen switch. Just as we want. D'Lo went under it instead of over it. Even with this being a switch, if he went over, Draymond has the inside track. So going under is able to take this slip away. Draymond does a good job, though, of making a tee with his feet. So this is something that, from a coaching standpoint, we teach. Defender's feet this way. You make the tee with your feet. And for post pin lobs, this is the way you want to operate with it. You don't have your back to the guy or your front to the guy. You need to be perpendicular to the defender, and that gives you visibility and mobility to be able to catch a post pin pass. So he does the right thing. Ooh. He has, oh God. So how do we get to this position? Draymond now has D'Lo's arm grabbed, and he yanks. That could be a dangerous play. Ooh. Now, how they got tied up, I think you can say both players had part to do with that, but yanking down like that he could have dislocated a shoulder. Here we see Dennis not top locking, not really what we're looking for. Lonnie just puts a hand out. I like that. You know, you maybe get even in his face a little bit, put the hand up because your man's out of the play. Rui gets up here, hands high, but he's not AD, so this is he can't play both at once. Looney's rolling, so he gets a body into Looney. Looney's so good. He's able to grab that just over D'Lo. So what happened? Dennis is top blocking Steph on the weak side. Oh, he's just covering Steph on the weak side. Drive happens. LeBron steps up. Ideally here, Dennis is helping down on Draymond, and then Lonnie's able to take care of these two players. But the chain of help defense breaks after the first help. And that's how you get a layup. All right. Yet again, here we go. On the switch, defense going under. Super heavily contested three. Not super. Fairly heavily contested three. Pull up from some distance. Nothing there. I like this from Braun. He knows he can't win this board, so he's just going to tip it to where these guys are. Oh, hey, Sean. Welcome in. So we've seen this quarter, the Lakers have, for whatever, well, it's because they're small. They've decided to be switching, but they're doing a good job from a technique standpoint with the switching for the most part. That time Dennis went under, but was able to get back underneath. He went over, but was able to get back underneath. Let's see what happens on this play. Who's guarding Wiggins? Is D'Lo guarding Wiggins or is Lonnie guarding Wiggins? Looks like D'Lo thinks he's guarding Poole, but Lonnie also thinks he's guarding Poole. Just a miscommunication there. Woo. Filthy move. 80's in position. Dennis is ready to chase over the top. The roll man would be going to the double side. Instead, you get a crossover. Now, if it were rolling, it'd be on the single side. He just picks and pops instead. AD, because he was in good position, a step below the screen on the left, he's now out of position for a drive to the right. This is the second time this game we've seen Golden State flip that screen. The first time, it was because the screener himself flipped last minute, and that put AD out of position. This time, it's because Steph executes a great crossover and is able to get all the way to the rim. So this isn't necessarily AD's fault. The first job, the first responsibility, and I don't know, Sean, or if there are any coaches in the chat, chime in if you have a different perspective, but I've often heard the first responsibility of the guy in Dennis's position is make Steph use the screen. Because your help defense, potentially, depending on what coverage you're running, and your screener defender, they're getting in position for the player to use the screen and defend it based on that. If you allow him to reject, now you've got a problem. And this is why when we look at like the synergy data, and I don't really like the new way synergy is set up. There's some ways it's nice. The user interface looks better. I don't think I've talked to a single coach who was like, I like this more. Coaches are very much creatures of habit, and like this was like the one piece of technology they knew how to use, and now there are a lot of people who just like don't know how to use it. One big degree of functionality that is no longer there is you can't pull up a leaderboard on like any stat on the website. You can only pull leaderboards on like 20 things, and that sucks. I don't like that. Hopefully they add that back in because they should be able to. But one thing we see from looking at the synergy data, and less so now, is the efficiency for pick and roll ball handlers when they reject screens is much higher than when they run off of screens. And this is why. Because the defense isn't ready for it. The defense is out of position. So here, Dennis makes a mistake. He tries to go over, and then he tries to spin under and just... I don't know how to describe that. But AD's in position. He's in his high drop. He's seating ground. We see his feet angled. He's there to contest. It's not the best of contests, but Steph misses the pull-up three. This is one I would have, given the angle, this is harder to ice. If Draymond were a little bit more down here, I would love to have seen Dennis jump out this way, 80, go over this way so that the roll man's going on the double side instead of the single side. Thankfully, he doesn't roll at all. LA gets away with it. Golden State's up to 42 points. It feels like we've only seen like 20 because we're only looking at the half-court defensive possessions. It's that transition defense that's really been hurting LA. Here, AD is just, there's no, oh man. Look at him just kind of tiptoe around. You're guarding Andrew Wiggins. He can shoot this. Wiggins should have shot this. I don't know why Wiggins didn't shoot this. Wiggins is a good three-point shooter. LA gets away with one there. We get an inverted ball screen. Lakers switch. And now, nice move. Was this a foul? I don't know that this was a foul. Look at Wiggins' left arm, though. Completely hooked Dennis, and then he rolls off of it. As he's rolling off of it, I think Dennis's right arm catches that arm that was just hooked around him. And we see the foul called on Dennis for the N1. This is, switch. 80 can't defend the rim. This is why I'm not a big fan of the switching. But with an inverted ball screen, what are you going to do? Right? What else can you do? You can show and recover. Do you want to put 2 on Andrew Wiggins and leave Steph alone? Not really. Now, based on the fact that these 2 players are in the action, if you look around the court here, non-shooter, non-shooter. So in theory, if Dennis were to jump out and try to take this away as AD's looking to recover, LeBron could absolutely make sure he takes Steph away, and then D'Lo is looking to defend 2v1 and take whoever cuts and leave the other guy alone. If they both cut, they're both cutting to where you are. So that's not the worst situation in the world. Maybe something to consider. From my perspective, though, I just don't like the AD on Wiggins matchup. I understand the intent. I understand that, hey, in theory, Wiggins will be setting fewer ball screens for Steph. Okay, but if there's no ball screen, AD is on a shooter, and that's not great. And if you're on an inverted ball screen, now we've got a problem. So those are some of the vulnerabilities, and we've seen Golden State poke at this a little bit better. Here, ram action ball screen, the Lakers just switch it. So 80's in position. Good spot. Reeves here tries to go over, though. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. We talked about it. This is the second time? I haven't been tracking the numbers, but we've seen like 8 times where this guy's gone under. Whether they're switching or just in high drop, it takes away this immediate pass. So the immediate 3 is taken away. The immediate pass out's taken away. And then you're able to recover, and this guy's able to recover. And you're just fine. Here, because Austin's going over, look, now we've got that window. Now we have the window. Now it is going to the double side, but Lonnie Walker's, he's not top blocking, who is that, Clay, but he's right next to him. Look how big this window is. That's problematic. This is Austin's fault. Now D'Lo does a really good job recognizing his guy's a non-shooter. He's the one that helps over. This makes it easier for AD to recover. And this is something live that I thought about, like, hey, if you, in theory, you could game plan to be giving up this short roll, step up, and then have AD just recover to who's left alone and bet that he's able to do it. And he is. He's in position. The problem is that this wasn't communicated well, and now both players are on Peyton. Wiggins cut behind it. He's going to get a layup. And 1. So we've seen 3 communication breakdowns, I think, so far. Again, inverted ball screen. Lakers just switch it. Reeves staying in front of Wiggins. Does a good job. Dennis making Draymond have to really fight him, but he is able to just discard him. Nice swim move here by Draymond to get back in front. But Braun gets the board. And the reason I call that a communication breakdown rather than a couple plays ago, rather than just LeBron misreading it, is because LeBron's on the double side. So normally he would be the one to help over. But Lonnie was basically, he had taken himself out of the play. So I understand D'Lo stepping up, but then LeBron generally would be the guy to help the helper. Or at least that's kind of what's hardwired into your brain. So that's one where I want AD yelling, I got him, like stay home, or something like that. Let's see on this play. Reeves looking to take away Clay. Dennis goes under. I want to see AD recover here. Instead, LA concedes the switch. Here comes help. I actually really like this play live up until the very end. This is one where Lonnie's ready to help. If there's a drive, he's there. And actually, the Lakers double. They double. These 2 guys just kind of stay in the paint, though. Recovery. Braun makes this hop here. even though he's not actually recovering, like he's not in a position to actually contest the shot, and is somehow Wiggins is able to get by him. Lonnie steps up. 80 late to help the helper. Steph Curry's an option. It's going to make you second guess your decisions. And we see a bucket. So we've seen more breakdowns here this quarter with the switching. Post up, big on a little, 2 shots coming. This is not a legal way to play post defense. The box out, sure. To play post defense, no. Here, Rui's just wildly out of position. It's okay, though. Able to recover. Great chaser defense here by Lonnie. But then fouls. Bad foul. Clay's been... This is the third, at least, that he's drawn this series with that mid-range pull-up pump fake. Here we've got a screen on each side that Lonnie has to contest with. Clay decides to go left. 80's there. It looks like he's going to shoot, so 80 contests. Lonnie peels off. Rui also peels off, and now we've got an open player. It's not Rui's help. Wiggins is able to attack him, generate the advantage, kick it out. Great look. We've seen Rui and Lonnie here defensively have some... Actually, both of them had a decent chaser defense play, but then with more of their positional team communication defense, not as sharp. Here, nothing's happening, but LeBron's hands are down, so Wiggins is able to pretty much get an uncontested 3, and he puts it in. Bad defense. That's a frustrating one because the offense didn't do anything to earn that advantage. Here, same deal as before. It looks like it's going to go this way, and then Looney flips around. Now 80's out of position. And this is a decent look here for Poole. AD and Rui look to box out, and they're able to get the stop. Double drag, just like before. LA switching and icing with that first screener defender. Go under, they switch. I don't know. I'm still not a huge fan of this. Off the handoff, LeBron's in position though. Decent defense. Good work. Actually, you know what? No, I don't mind this switch. You know why? Because it's LeBron and AD. If this was Reeves and AD, I'd rather Reeves look to recover right here as the under takes away the roll, the high drop takes away the 3, and then AD diagonally retreats this way as the defender gets over. But because it's LeBron and AD, I'm cool with the switch here. So I rescind my criticism based on who's involved, and then right back. Switch, we're in position. Nothing's going on. Wiggins does a nice job here. As soon as the shot goes up, rolling off Reeves. Ball just does not bounce his way. But again, Golden State's up to 64 points. They're getting a lot in transition. Here, Rui trying to chase Clay. It's a bad situation. Good help by AD. Good recovery by Rui. This is kind of a lollipop of a pass by Clay. Wiggins spins right off. This is a good look. Let's look. Can't hit it though. The chaser defense is going as soon as the gun goes off in a track race. You can't let the offensive player get a 1.5 second head start on you. You got to go when it's time to go, and that's what we saw hurt Rui on that last play. This one, stuff just with the crossover and is able to almost get by. I mean, he's even with Reeves. Rui's there to deter the drive. Pass by Steph. Wiggins attacks baseline. Wiggins probably could have taken another dribble and looked to attack the rim, but as this is happening, we see Lonnie. Right now, his man's here. Look where my cursor is. This is where his man was. Now his man's over here. Poole, instead of attacking the high foot, he attacks the low foot. That means that he's not going to get the advantage. Good defense, bad offense, but Looney's able to extend. And look at Looney. He does not have inside position, but what he does have is control over all of this ground. Because he'll be able to jump and retrieve something back here. He's pushing AD this way. AD has control of this space, but that's not generally where the ball bounces. The ball's going to bounce this way or this way. So if you're AD here, you need to be earning back space, reset the line of scrimmage, and take over this area. Second opportunity. The clip's going to reset here. Okay. Nice defense by Reeves. That's good defense by LeBron, who's just not a chaser defender. AD sagging off, normally the right thing to do, but when LeBron off these cross matches is not able to, I mean, was it even a cross match? Who was LeBron guarding originally? He was guarding Clay originally, so yeah, this is just LeBron being not in a good situation. This is the problem with the LeBron, Rui, AD lineups is if you've got Klay Thompson out there as your three-man, one of those two players needs to be a chaser, and that's just a bad position to be in. It's not good. Not going to go well. And it hurts the Lakers here. This was a big part of why I thought and think starting Rui would make some sense because, at least with the lineups we've seen so far from Golden State, that would allow the LeBron, Rui, AD trio to face no chasers really, because you can have Draymond, JaMychal, and Wiggins, or Draymond, Wiggins, and Peyton. Like Clay isn't the three in that starting lineup, and that's really the only lineup that he plays in where he's not that three man. Trying to fit this trio of Laker defenders into really any other lineup where Clay's on the court means somebody's in a bad position. Here, now it's LeBron guarding Jordan Poole. Not ideal. Steph just going 1v1. Nice move. Look at this move. Behind the back. Has Lonnie going the other direction. Light contest. Puts it in. That's a superstar shot. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. All right, so we're at halftime. Thus far, we've seen Golden State have a bit more success in the second quarter than the first. First quarter, Lakers half-court defense, lockdown, really good. There were a couple mistakes, but schematically, we're doing all the right things. On my end, I have no problem with what they were doing. In that second quarter, we saw Golden State attack the switching smarter. We saw the box-out defense in both quarters not be the best. Transition, obviously a huge part of the game to this point for Golden State to be up to 70 points. That's problematic. But if you're looking at this from a process standpoint, we haven't looked at the Lakers' offense yet. If the Lakers' offense were performing a bit better, the big volume of points Golden State was getting from transition, not there. Hang on, I'm tweeting out the link once more. Okay, so third quarter, LA sticking with their starting group. Vando's out there, starting with a ram into the ball screen. And we see what we like to see. Draymond absolutely holds Reeves. What the hell was that? So not picking up too high. Being more aggressive, sagging off the non-shooter. LeBron could probably do so as well. Reeves goes under here to take away that short roll. And now Draymond is holding Reeves' pants. What the hell? This is ridiculous. He's literally holding his from right here. He's holding his pants. So Reeves tries to flip his hips and can't. Unbelievable. I don't. I think complaining about the refs is. I don't know. There's so many other things to focus on, but like, what the hell? This is a really unconventional, weird, really weird non-call. Like, you're not used to seeing this play. That's bizarre. And Reeves is immediately yelling at the ref about it. You can't hold somebody's pants like that. There's a difference between a seal and holding a guy's pants so he can't turn his body. Lakers, again, giving up switches. Draymond, again, sealing here. And great defense by D'Angelo Russell, sagging off the non-shooter because, look, same deal as attacking the top blocking. When a guy's on the high side, if you turn it into a ball screen, it's just a super big ball screen with two players. That's that +1 screen. But instead of a top block, this is just a seal from Draymond. He takes out Vando and AD, and thank God D'Lo is able to slap this ball away. Vando actually does a pretty good job. He's in position. He recovers pretty well. AD absolutely taken out by that screen. Not a bad position to be in. We leave one non-shooter. We're away from another non-shooter. We're staying home on these guys. Nothing going on here for Golden State. Oh. Vandalay glitched out here. He doesn't even turn his head until Steph's almost by him. D'Lo rotates over. Again! Wait, hang on. Who deflected it this time? Yeah, D'Lo got it a second time. How about D'Angelo Russell's defense? His rotational team defense is so good. Twice there in like 30 seconds. Here we see Vando not able to get around the off-ball screen, but AD is in position. That's a tough shot. Again here, look at D'Lo. Shot goes up, turn to see your man in your peripheral. He's not cutting. I know I'm okay. Ball goes right to me. And actually, Peyton waits until after he turns back and then tries to cut. Interesting. Here we've got, off of a miss, cross matches. This is some of the peel-off switching I was talking about earlier. On the drive, step up, rotate over, and you're fine. D'Lo just needs to be like a step closer before trying to contest the shot. That was categorized as half court. That was a transition play. Here's Ram screen. Here, the Lakers switch. Reeves goes under, takes away the short roll. And we're in good shape. Again, switch, take away the short roll. We're in okay shape. 7, 6, 5. Good defense from Vando. Lakers get out. This is the play where AD, we're not going to see the whole thing because they're about to cut us off. AD makes the great pass to D'Lo, and he's able to score. Beautiful defense. Really high quality when it comes to the technique for the switching defense. You can switch in a lot of different ways. The Lakers have done it the right way. There's a moving screen by Wiggins. See him lunge out at D'Lo. And AD still in position to contest the shot. And it was a missed shot. Off a miss, we have cross matches. We've got AD guarding Steph Curry. That's not ideal. LA got away with one there. D'Lo avoids this screen, but Ben kind of takes his time. He needs to accelerate a little bit quicker. Anytime there's a post-up for Draymond, if it's not on a mismatch, we know it's for a passing look. And here, after the Lakers had a big man on Steph. We're going to make this big man need to navigate screens. 80, go navigate a screen. And so Reeves, again, this is the third time this game he's jumped. And it gives up the numbers. Foul there. So Reeves needs to clean up the jumping. We need to see Lonnie and Rui play a little bit better team defense. Oof. Yeah, so here's what you don't want to do. This is the second time this game Reeves has done it. We haven't seen anyone else do it. I don't think. Reeves is going over. Whether this is a switch or this is high drop, we're now giving up this lane here. Vando rotates over. D'Lo helps the helper. This is just perfectly timed with D'Lo looking at his man, and he's just a half second slow here. So Draymond's able to get that inside position. But Vando, what is Vando doing? He jumps out and then he jumps sideways. Just the Olay defense from him. I'm not sure what that's about. I guess he thought he didn't get there in time and just didn't want to foul. Vando gives up the reject. Bad situation. Steph at the rim. 80, you see 80 turn just a little. He's looking for Draymond, but Draymond's out of his field of vision. And so Draymond out of his field of vision is able to get underneath him, get the board. Here, breakdown. D'Lo helps late, so D'Lo's man has nobody on him. Look at this. He looks like a high jumper. 1, 2, penultimate step. That's how you maximize your vert. Steph probably could have taken his time a little bit there. Here we get double drag. Lakers switch it. Ooh, we're skipping around here. Yeah, I was wondering why we didn't get the double drag shallow. Because we're going to get double drag Oklahoma. There it is. Lakers switch it. Look at this. This is where we just need D'Lo to be a little bit higher and 80 to be sagging a little bit more. If D'Lo is higher and 80 is not sagging, this back cut's potentially available. You need a Reeves to guard the cut and the shooter. With D'Lo not top blocking, Clay's able to come off. Job by Reeves to try to take this away. 80 on ball is just I guess a tougher situation to try to get it out, but I do think this pass might have been there. The angle is actually tough. Not the angle's tough. This is an example where, like with an off-ball screen, we've talked all series about how you don't want to be shooting the gap and going under, but this is where when you're switching on an off-ball screen, going over, just like with the ball screen defense, going over rather than going under, opens up the short roll. So Clay needs to pass right now. This needs to be immediate. Anything that's not immediate, now his ankle's gone. He has it right here. His ankle's gone right now. So LA is able to get away with it. We see, again, that T from the posting player. This is that T. Pass needs to go right in here. Right over here. And so LeBron's ready to try to take that away. Oh, no, Vando's ready to try to take that away. Look, Vando's ready to take it away. Draymond reads it. This is the game within the game. We've got a post pin. I actually don't love Vando doing what he's doing here. I don't know if he goes any further, it's too much. I think, to me. We've got Steph Curry on the weak side. Draymond reading that his man is going this way, runs up this way. And this is kind of that just high-low basketball. This is age-old stuff. You can find this in super old clinic notes. Vando does not realize his man has moved. Where he left him was right here. And Right here's where he closes out too. And that's why Draymond's able to get by him. So just, I don't blame LeBron seeing the pass and going for Steph Curry. I don't blame AD for sticking on Klay Thompson, but this is where cross matching, which is done by pushing quickly after makes and creating switches, which creates cross matching. This is where AD on the perimeter is a problem. Yuck. Smart basketball, but yuck. LA switching. Dennis goes under, takes away the short roll. We see Poole clear out. We now have this big gap here for Steph to drive against the mismatch. This is how you set up a mismatch, but better. This normally single gap, D'Lo would be able to help him recover, but it's Klay Thompson, so he can't. So in this situation, Steph can go this way and not see help. He can go this way and not see help. Either direction he goes, he's not seeing help until he gets to the rim. And it's there. And that's AD. Looney under the rim, not a threat. Great defense, tough shot, no good. This is where, if you're switching, you can switch as long as you're able to keep AD at the rim. So Reeves goes over, but stays in contact. Good job by Reeves. If you're going to go over, that's how you have to do it. Rui steps up to try to get outside the restricted area. Steph with a really nice move. You go around him, finish at the rim. This is just... Just Dennis beat. Dennis beat, no real rim protection. Here we get a handoff. Dennis tries to chase over. Does a really good job. Quickly navigating back. Dennis, I noticed this live in this game and in previous games. He's done a really good job. If there is a separation here, he does a really good job using his acceleration and taking that away. So we now have a switch with no short roll. Reeves digs, nothing's there. Dennis steps up. There's AD's first block of the ball game. AD's got Looney. He's taken care of. Great play. Honestly, really, not the defense at this point, half-court defense that we've looked at, we're not looking at the transition plays. Half-court defense, pretty solid. Not perfect, but against Golden State, really solid. Yeah, Golden State has 87 points. That's the transition impact. Here, Dennis shoots the gap. He's now behind Klay Thompson. Attic, he's able to get back in front. That face cuts D'Lo. That's not okay. But Klay Thompson travels. Does he travel? Okay, so this is where his feet are. Oh, yeah, he changes his pivot foot. Or he shuffles his left foot after it becomes his pivot foot. Bad shot. How do they improve the transition defense? Be better on offense. Improve the offense. That will directly improve the transition defense. So early in the game, we saw with AD, I see a question by One Rock in the chat. Early in the game, from a ball screen defensive standpoint, we saw high drop with LA doing the four things I talked about pregame yesterday during the pregame show, and then also talked about at halftime during the prior game that we saw LA implement, which is for the high ball screens, don't pick up too high. When you see the screen, go under it, don't go over it. By going under, you're able to take away the short roll. Aggressively help off the non-shooters, which are generally out there for these lineups. Golden State's playing heavily. And then high ice the ball screen situationally to push the roll man to the double side rather than the single side. We saw all four of those in the first quarter, and they rocked. And the Laker defense was great. And to be fully transparent, I saw nothing. If you saw something, speak up in the chat. I saw nothing from the first quarter defense that led me to believe switching was the answer. There wasn't a problem. They were doing great. And I don't know why they made that adjustment. So that to me is not what I would have wanted to see. That to me is problematic. And since then we've seen it. We saw them start the second quarter with a smaller lineup. Okay, I get it. If you're playing small, you're not playing Wenyan and you're just playing small, I get switching. But even when they brought AD back into the game, they were switching. And it just, to me, it made no sense. And Golden State was so much more prepared to attack it than they were before. All right, so here we get Chicago action. LeBron does not switch the first screen. We had previously seen the guy in LeBron's position switch and then jump out here. Dennis does a good job trying to stay with Looney. Helps there. Pulls uncomfortable, kicks out of bounds. So we're almost through 3 quarters of B+, A-, half-court defense. That might be a little generous. Maybe B. I'll say B. Ugh. This is what happens when you try to block shots. You're not in position to box out. All right, so under a minute left, third quarter. This is categorized as a half-court shot for, but this is a secondary break. Defense is on its heels. On the handoff, just nobody's there. Rebound. Wiggins puts one up. No good. Okay, so I think that's the end of the third quarter. Nope, we got one more play. Lakers switching. Nothing going on. Help. Recover. Good defense. So we're through 3 quarters of half-court defense, and it's been pretty good. All right. Switching. We're seeing a lot of switching and then peel off switching. Maybe not quite. But Rui, as he's retreating, he's kind of a deterrent for Steph to try to go full speed. Hands up. Hilo does a good job taking away Rui's guy, and then on the kick out, Hilo recovers. Rui with the cornet contest. And LA gets a stop. Here the Lakers switch that. This has been such a good action for Golden State this series. Or it looks like a very dangerous action. They've scored off of it, but they've also gotten some offensive fouls. This downhill with Draymond, he'd dribble into here and then execute the handoff. This is so tough to navigate this screen and then chase all around and then navigate that screen. Really tough situation. So the Lakers switch the first action, which I like. Switch the second action. Dennis with good help. Look at this. This is what a peel-off switch looks like. Dennis steps up. AD just switches onto Dennis's guy. Nelly's in a really good spot. And Steph just hits a really tough shot. What do we get here? All screen, Dennis goes under to switch. Good technique. 80's in a good spot. This is a deep 3 that is contested and off the dribble. Good defense. And very occasionally, we've been seeing Steph hit those shots, but seems like almost every time that process is good, here's an offensive foul. Uh, Steph's not hitting that shot. There's a mismatch. Got a guy with size. He's going to just rise over. That's a bad matchup for Austin. Again, defense goes under, is switching, switches back. We know they're switching back right here. Dennis says, "No, you take him." Split cut. Dennis defends it really well. Reeves looking to draw the charge, is not able to, gets the board. Look at that. So is this a charge? Let's see. Does could have been called a charge. I understand why it wasn't, but it could have been called one. And again, LeBron, not with the best position, is just able to tip it over to an area that LA does control. Lakers call timeout. Nothing there. ISO. Again, Reeves is going to stay in front with these ISOs. He's going to make you have to rise above and shoot over a contest. Here, actually, Wiggins does a really good job spinning off. I don't like the Reeves on Wiggins matchup. That's just the starting point here. We've got LeBron on Looney. This is because AD is out of the game. That's why we've got these problems. AD's out of the game right now. So I'm not. Darvin Ham's not working with a full deck in this possession. These plays. Here we see Reeves. Not sure if he's switching or not. See, Reeves should be the one yelling out here, "Stay, stay, stay," or switch, switch, switch. I want you to be in charge of that, bud. Again, LeBron with another tap out rebound. In between Looney and Draymond. Draymond, who gets good position on Lonnie, and Looney, who's just a monster on the boards. LeBron has some really nice tap out rebounds. All right, so ball screen, switch. Dennis goes under, takes away the roll. Reeves stays in front. Jumps. Fairly well. And we got nothing. Absolutely nothing right here. 3, 2, 1. Draymond bails him out. Ball screen, switch. Look at Dennis jump under. There's no opportunity for the short roll. Shot here from Steph. Lonnie's there. Lonnie's there to cut off the drive. Steph steps away from the defense. He's able to hit a tough contested midi. I mean, those, if you're going to pick shots for him to take, I'd much rather Steph Curry take pull up, fade away, mid range shots than getting to the rim or assisting for teammates for threes or layups or shooting threes himself. I see. This is problematic. Remember our 4 keys to the ball screen defense? Dennis is picking up too high. He's picking up way too high. But look at him able to close. Look at the acceleration. But we also see, because he's picking up too high, D'Lo helping off Klay Thompson to take away that roll. So D'Lo points and tells Lonnie, "You need to get there." Lonnie realizes it and jumps out. As that's happening, got Reeves on ball and Steph. Reeves tries to reach. able to get a real good contest off. Steph hits it anyway. Steph was just on fire. And then as this is happening, look at Draymond on LeBron. Just walk him. Look at he's able to push him back under the rim. Tough shot from Steph Curry. And on the step back, Reeves didn't get a contest on the play. Reeves has contested really well. Like, these are great contests. I'm not looking at these plays and saying, oh, wow, he's beating him. Like, we've seen guys be blown by. Reeves wasn't getting blown by. Unfortunate play for Golden State there. Yeah, so what happened? Tap, rebound. Okay, so 3 minutes left. You're seeing the screen jump around. That's me controlling it, jumping around. Ron with his chaser defense, guarding Steph Curry. That's probably better chaser defense than we've seen from LeBron in a while. And then Andrew Wiggins just too big. This is the problem. With 80 out of the game, you're just a little bit too small. Whether it's Lonnie or it's Reeves on Wiggins, they're just too small. Whoa! Is this new? Andrew Wiggins, is this real? Andrew Wiggins list is questionable for Friday. Holy crap. Yeah, that's tweeted out. That's real? What? Wow. Wow. Where did that happen? Man, that could be a problem. All right, we're in garbage time, so I'm not going to look at this. So that's the Lakers defense. What are our takeaways? So in the first quarter, we saw the high drop work really well. All the Lakers needed to do was do those 4 things: not pick up too high, go under the high ball screens to recover while taking away the short roll, push the roll towards the double side through high ice coverage if the roll is set up to go to the single side, and help aggressively off the non-shooters. Those 4 things, whether the Lakers were switching or the Lakers were in a high drop, worked well. And that's been the way this has happened. It's when the Lakers are trying to chase over those screens and they give up the short rolls and they're not aggressively helping off the non-shooters, that's when the Lakers pick and roll defense has problems. And that happens whether they're in drop or switching. Those granular adjustments that have absolutely nothing to do with Anthony Davis did a really good job. And we saw the Lakers drop and recover really well in the first quarter. Q2, 3, and 4, we saw the Lakers switching. And from a technique standpoint, 95% accuracy from my perspective with the switching. And it was not the switching action itself, but the ISOs and the putbacks and the post-ups. Sorry, I just hit my mic. ISOs, putbacks, and post-ups. As we see, again, if we go back to our points over expectation percentiles, this is looking at efficiency and volume. 86th percentile ISO, 97th percentile post-ups, 83rd percentile putbacks. This is a result of cross matches. They only had a couple roll man plays they did really, really well. But this was when they had a couple breakdowns. The thing that kept standing out to me was we're watching this Lakers half-court defense and be like, oh, wow, this is looking pretty good. And then we look at the scoreboard and Golden State scored 70 points at halftime. It's because of the 98th percentile transition point production for them. This is 98th percentile compared to the other, 89 games Golden State's played this season. So this is one of their, not for everybody, for them, who is a really good, really effective when they run transition team. This is one of their best transition games of the season. And we've seen that in Game 2, Game 4, and Game 5. Game 2, also where the team was being iced with their ball screens and having problems, and it led to a really good offense for Golden State. That's what it was from. Same thing we see tonight, or last night. So when it comes to the Lakers' defense, they're being hurt by their offense. Let's now dig into that offense. Let's look at the half-court offense. Before we do, I want to really quickly point out, from a transition standpoint, how bad it looks. I'm going to pause this. Transition. Transition offense right here. Golden State 23 plays, 1.217 points per possession. Very good. When we look at their efficiency percentile, it was above average for them. For the Lakers, 17 times they were attacking in transition, mostly in the first quarter when the Lakers were in that high drop and able to play better defense. Horrific transition offense. Absolutely horrific transition offense. This is a problem. This is execution and shot making. But we're going to look at the half court offense and break down what we can within that. Give me just a second. I'm going to sip some water. All right. Let's take a look. Lakers get the tip. What are we in? Snap. Just for the entry. What's going on? Snap. Handoff. Ball screen. I feel like that was a really long setup to get to a ball screen. The ball screen, not a great angle. We've got the ball screen happening as we've got a down screen on the weak side. This, in theory, is tying up the help defense so that AD can roll hard and attack the rim. We see Draymond in a contain. We see Wiggins on LeBron. AD needs to be rolling hard. He's not. We do see him get a deep post up, draw the foul. This play here, the reason this play is run with this guy high the way he is, and the weak side action, this action here, Reeves isn't a great off-screen shooter. That's not why this play is being run. This play is being run to make sure these two guys don't help. This guy standing here, D'Lo standing there. This is so this guy isn't able to help on a roll. As LeBron drives, he engages Draymond and drop. He's got Wiggins on his hip. AD has this lane to roll hard and look for the lob. That is the value of this play. First play of the game. This is why you run this play. And AD's he's not rolling at all. That's bad. He needs to understand the value of this set play. I do like him posting up hard. He atones for the lack of the roll, but to me, that's frustrating. And that's got to be frustrating for the coaching staff, knowing, hey, we just ran this play literally, specifically to generate that opportunity. Next play, flips it over. 12 on the clock. You're taking a contested three with nobody in the paint. Not a good possession. Here we go. Ball screen is iced. The Lakers flip the screen. Reeves snakes back middle. What do we have? Because he snakes back middle, we've got a man on his back, and we've got Draymond in contain. This is open. But it's only open if AD takes advantage of it. And he does. He's not rolling hard at all, and Reeves also passes out pretty quickly. It's flipping the screen and snaking the ball screen. Those are two things you want to be doing to attack ice defense. And LA gets nothing from it because it's not run well. There's no roll, and the ball handler gets rid of the ball too quickly. Here we see sort of a 1v1. We're seeing like a dig that's not really actually a dig. AD fading away. Oh. Draymond in his landing space. No foul called. Early post entry. Just backing down, taking your time. 5 seconds. Let's see. When does he start? 19 on the clock. Oh no, when he starts dribbling, that's when it counts. So 18. We needed to be at 13 for the 5-second call. And he calls it right here at 13. So that's 5 seconds. This kind of was looking double draggy. So Clay ices, LeBron flips. There's a little flare screen for LeBron. But instead of seeing Clay go under it and just hang out here, he continues going to where Clay's going. So there's no advantage. So that's a bad read by LeBron James. Step up ball screen, you can't ice that. And again, AD's open on the roll. Oh, actually, no. Oh, never mind. Because Clay is able to stay home, or he's able to stay on LeBron, so Draymond is able to retreat and get in position here. I think if AD is able to roll hard, he might have something, but I mean, Peyton gets a hand on him. There's not much there. Almost the ball back. Vando puts it up with 8 on the clock. That's a bad shot for Jared Vanderbilt. Again, ball screen, ice coverage, no flip, nothing going on. Nothing going on. No advantage. Midi. Puts it in, but that's a bad play. Here, because D'Lo is coming out of the corner, Clay's not going to be able to ice this. So if this is a good screen and he actually is able to turn the corner here, engage the defense, AD's going to be open. If Draymond stays home on AD, D'Lo might have a drive, and the only reason D'Lo wouldn't have a drive is because Wiggins helps over, which would open up the Stampede cut. But he passes out too early before any of that needs to happen. And Wiggins is in a good spot to play defense. So just, again, the ball screen actions are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Either they're not running the right approach or the execution is poor. Backing down Wiggins, tough shot. Really tough shot. Not ideal. We're seeing 1v1 post-ups not lead to shots at the rim. Inverted ball screen. But again, just like last game, we're seeing LeBron actually attack off of these, and that is better able to generate advantages. What he could do here is just stop. Let Steph leave you and shoot this three. Instead, he drives to where Wiggins is. Miss at the rim. Don't know that that's a foul. From that angle, you can't really tell. Here, Peyton steps out to ice. So we're off killing clock. 12, 11 goes under the down the screen. Smart. They flip it back. 80's going middle. Pocket pass is available right now. Nothing there. Just banks into 3. We've seen several bad process, good result possessions so far for the Lakers. Here, defense goes under. Reese for 3, no good. No ice. On baseline. You got to keep probing. Or if Wiggins is going to help down enough, Braun should be open for 3, but he takes too long. And the pass is not on target. It's accurate, but it's not precise. The placement's poor. The placement needs to be a little bit more to the left. There's accuracy there. It wasn't a bad pass. It wasn't a turnover. Hit him, but it didn't hit him in the right spot. So here we got 1v1. 80's able to get into the paint, not be fading away, gets a good shot. That's what I want to see. I want to see more face up. And I've said this since pre-series. Against Looney and Draymond in the 1v1s, 80 facing up should be able to generate really good looks. Face up 1v1. Loving that. Board by Reeves, though. Nice. Okay. So Reeves gets it. Ooh, nice pass. Snap. What? Double drag? Yeah. Bad screen. No advantage for the screen. Lonnie's taking really wide angles off of these. No advantage. Nothing happening. Play doesn't work. They're running plays. Play doesn't work. Really bails the team out. Dennis trying to go 1v1. Gets the rim. There you go. This is a chase dribble handoff. You can't ice this. Defense can go under though, and against Schroeder, it's a smart thing to do. Flips it. 80's not rolling yet again. And we've got a midi. Look at all of the guys around Anthony Davis. If he rolls hard, you might be able to throw the lob over the top. I don't think Klay Thompson's stopping that. But he's not rolling. Step up is switched. Lakers go to the post. Should be a mismatch. And there's help into the paint. This means pin and flares are the way to go. For whatever reason, we've got Reeves and AD on the perimeter. And if you were to pick one of the two guys to cut, I would be picking AD, but instead Reeves cuts. AD's hanging out at the high school 3-point line. And ends up catching, attacking the closeout, and making a really tough mid-range shot. Again, not the best process. Not what you want to be seeing. Almost a turnover there in transition. Lakers get to half court. Because they pushed, even though they had to reset, they've got cross-matching. Dennis ISO pull-up three, not good offense. Okay, so that's the end of the first quarter. Horrible process from the Lakers. It's looked real bad. They've had better results than the process was. That's my takeaway so far. Moving to the second, we see LA flip the screen into the Chicago action. Just a little bit too early. The timing is off here. You want to see Lonnie arrive right now. Lonnie arrived too early. That means that Steph's in position to overplay the play. So that's poor timing by Lonnie. Again, really wide angles. He's not a comfortable ball handler. I mean, he does a good job reading this and getting the ball where it needs to be. I think he'd be better used as an off-ball player in these lineups. You've got D'Lo, Schroeder, and LeBron James on the court, and you're using Lonnie Walker to run ball screens. Again, defense happy to let LA go towards the sideline. Kicks it out. Braun three. Puts it in. Lakers have the lead. We're back. Lakers are tied. Ice. Nice job rolling. Rui does a good job just kind of being in the way. And now D'Lo would have just hung up here for a second. Rui had the inside position. But D'Lo beats his roll man to the rim because Rui's not really running hard. Again, these roll men are just tiptoeing around. You're not going to win playing this way. D'Lo post up. See, turning this into a ball screen I like. D'Lo actually might be an offensive foul with the hook there. Gets to the rim, scores. D'Lo's got some post game. You remember that from his rookie year? Here, again, look at him stepping out. They're just trying to push the Lakers into these screens. LA's not getting anything from them. The play is shut down. Nothing there. This offense stinks. This is not what we want to see. Here, ice coverage. On pops. Triple threat three. Puts it in. Tough shot. The offense is supposed to manufacture you good opportunities. We're not seeing any of that happen when the Lakers run their ball screens. ISO. Okay. So LeBron against the ISO here is able to do some good things. Part of why he is because Wiggins is kind of taken out of this play. Right here, this is what we're looking at. If LeBron, Looney is shading LeBron towards the help. towards Wiggins, who's going to cut this drive off and then be able to recover. So what do the Lakers do? They manufacture a double gap, and they do so by just cutting D'Lo here. That removes Wiggins. And now, if we think about our gaps again, we draw our dot under the rim, we draw our dot at the ball handler, we draw a dot at the next closest player, and we connect the dots, and we look at this angle. We've got like a 90-degree angle here. We've got a double gap. Pulling our geometry in. This is a much easier way to drive because if this guy is going to help, he won't be able to recover out to the shooter adequately. A single gap here, this guy can help him recover adequately to the shooter. So getting D'Lo out of there helps create that driving lane. If you're going to be an iso ball team, you need to be creating gaps to attack. Defense goes under the shooter ball screen, but he's able to beat Steph to the rim anyway. Lonnie, look at Wiggins. He jumps out to ice, push you down the sideline. Here's the pocket pass to AD. Good job by Peyton reaching in, trying to get the ball with two hands. He's not swiping. He's going to grab the ball right there. He's trying to grab the ball. I think he fouls. AD hits the midi, but I like the idea there. There was a little bit more urgency from AD trying to roll. Here we see from the deep corner or from a post up, you're better able to avoid the ice, but Clay still does a really good job getting through the screen. AD's not really set. AD's leaning away, and that's easier to recover from. So they flip it. Again, super tough shot. Nothing going on. And there's nobody in position for an offensive rebound. Here's a play where AD tried to go through Draymond. Draymond pulled him to the ground. Foul on AD. Again here, D'Lo just engages his man. These two defenders are looking this way for the wide pin down. Draymond top blocks AD. So rather than him being able to go this way, he's going to cut this way. But he sees LeBron driving and just says, I'm going to watch. That's a layup. This is where running sets, even if you're not attacking with the off-screen action, opens up your ISO game. Too easy. This is the play, though, where Wiggins does get hit in the face. So that helps a bit as well. Let's see what we got. Ice. Draymond's there. He's attacking. Lakers have to kick it out, recover. Bron drills the three. I like this concept with 7 on the clock. Because right now, defense is in pretty darn good shape. Again, ice. Look, they're just Steph or Clay. Screen's there. He jumps out this way. You're not going middle. We're not going to let AD roll on the single side. As you attack middle, maybe Wiggins helps. Then we've got the 3 of the stampede cut from LeBron. Like we just don't want to deal with that, and they don't have to because they're icing these screens. Here we do see Dennis snake back middle. AD's got to roll hard now. You got to explode to the rim. He doesn't. It's hanging out. This needs to be a lob. Two guys on Dennis. This needs to be a lob. There's no, look at this. The one time the game where we see AD actually roll with the snake middle, there's nobody impeding his path. And Dennis puts the ball in the, tries to bounce pass it over. That's just a bad play by both of them. Mostly Dennis. I think AD was able to still get there. It just caught, Dennis had to buy more time because AD was not rolling hard. Wide pin down. Draymond just rolls underneath. Flips it back to Dennis. There you go. Draymond has to stay home on AD, so he doesn't contest. He could have gotten even closer to the rim. Let's see, here we go. Here's a non-iced ball screen. Reese picks the ball up too quickly, and the advantage goes away. He hits the shot, but I need one more low dribble here. As soon as Draymond, like one little low dribble and then throw the lob over the top. Wide pin down again. Defense goes under, nothing going on. Shown recover there. And 80 commits the charge. I like the idea of the inverted ball screen. Stepping into the three, nothing there. This offense stinks, man. This is bad. This is so much worse than it was like a game or two ago when they were running ice beaters. Yuck. Yuck. Flop. Rui gets to the rim. I like that from AD. Facing up, he's able to get to a decent spot, not fading away. Gets hit in the wrist. No foul called. 3v3. Nope. Back to half court. All right, so. Oh, Brown picked his dribble up. Try again. Ball screen, can't ice it. AD gets inside position. That pass took a really long time to get in. Rui's open here, but foul was called. It's the attacking the ice defense, and AD is going to get so many more good shots at the rim. He's going to get so many more offensive rebounds. He's going to get so many more putbacks and fouls drawn. Again, another good attack. Anytime he's able to face up and attack 1v1, he should be able to get to good looks against Green and Looney. It's only the back to the basket game where with your back to the basket game, you're not able to use quickness at all unless you just have insane feel and you're able to spin off of things. AD's not that guy. He'll back down a little bit and then fade away, usually, if his drop step isn't there. And they do a really good job with their stances defensively. Look, LeBron gets super deep. Oh, man. 80 could have potentially had the putback dunk, but doesn't. Keep. Doesn't go with any force, though, but still gets into the face-up attack. Oh, man. That's a bummer. All right, so that's the end of the second. Give me just a sec. I'm going to tweet this out again. All right. Third quarter. So we're looking at Lakers go snap. Have they made the adjustments? Corner step up, gets the ball into LeBron. The defense collapses. We've got a pin and flare on the weak side for Jared Vanderbilt. Why? Why have you done these things? What is the point? Yuck. Clay's digging him real hard here. Stunting real hard. Reeves is potentially open. Vando's open. Wiggins does a really good job just deflecting this pass. But yuck. Icing the side ball screen. Nothing there. Nothing there. I like this. Dribble pitch. Good look for 3. Okay, but that's a good look. They're going to sag off Vando rather than him taking those threes. Getting into dribble pitches is smart. Lakers running their rip, punch, empty play. Just get out of the way. Or clear, I should say, not empty. Not quite facing up. Not really there. He has the Draymond does a really good job here. Pushing them towards the help. Good help from Peyton. Hey, Vando, what is Vando doing? Not screening. You're not a scoring threat. You're just around. And even if AD were to kick that ball out, Vando's man would be able to recover. Deal again, posting up. Again, putting the ball through the hoop. Icing the corner pick and roll. Interesting. It should generate a good look, and it does, and Reeves just misses it. It's a 16-point game. Again, trying to go to the corner pick and roll because they just got a good look off of it, and not sure if there was a deflection or D'Lo just lost it. It looks like he thinks there's a foul or something. Maybe is his arm grabbed, perhaps? I'm not sure. Good job there by Golden State realizing the sneaky pick and roll, trying to ice it, creates a problem, swing, step up screen, Braun's on the drive, able to get to a really good spot inside the paint, fouled a million times, scores at the rim. No foul call. Reeves for 3? Nope. Step up screen, can't ice that. Got to keep his dribble alive here. And AD also has to actually roll. He's not rolling. He's just jogging. Just hanging out. Part of the problem is Wiggins, he'll probably be there. Good job not passing that. Try to go under, Reeves for 3, puts it in. Good defense here by Golden State. Just overplaying actions results in a midi. Just awful, awful offense. Stopped. Who's that? Moody? No, it's Peyton. He jumps out to ice. Nothing there. Foul called though. D'Lo does a good job just kind of stopping right here, letting the defense fly into him and taking the shot. We are always seeing AD have to roll towards the side with multiple defenders, and he's not rolling hard, and it's very problematic. Another Vando 3. Yuck. Oh, step up, gets the switch. Down able to drive by Staff. Wow. I mean, decent help down by, again, is that Moody or Peyton? I can't tell. Somehow AD's able to finish that. Here Reeves anticipating the ice. Acts immediately off of it, doesn't wait for it, and then to then say go, but he gets called for the palm. Good move. That's a counter to ice defense that isn't really a scheme thing. That's just a little technique thing. Steph jumps out, so AD flips the screen. We got Lonnie trying to attack downhill. He goes for the midi, puts this in, I think. Yeah. And then on the next play, same thing. But no opportunity for rebounds. You're going for okay, so he snakes it, and now it's another midi. Nobody at the rim. That's not going to be Golden State. That kind of offense isn't going to be Golden State. You got to be able to attack the rim a bit more. Double drag, switched. Iced. Flipped. Nothing going on. Good help. Steph gets a hand on that. Hey, finally a ball screen where the roll man's going to the empty, or not the empty side, but the single man side. Hilo gets this guy in jail, but rather than backing up, just keep probing. AD's lob was going to be there. Man, I have not liked the rolling. I have not liked the lack of counters, nor have I liked the ball handler choices in a lot of these situations. Nothing going on. I pin down just into the ball screen. Defense goes under. Lonnie Walker's like a 27% pull 3-point shooter. Not good. Able to finish through Kevon Looney though. All right, Lonnie. And I think that's good too about it's when the Lakers score, it sets up the transition defense. When they get to the free throw line, it sets up the transition defense even better. More iced high ball screens. This time Poole gets crushed. No advantage created. Schroeder 3 though. Never mind. Advantage created. Yeah. He's further than he otherwise would be. He's a step further out. And he's a step further than he wants to be. Maybe a half step. Still a decently contested 3. Dennis puts it in. 13-point game. Ice. Pushing to the double side. High tag. Lonnie, I mean, he could have shot it. I think what he's trying to do is get Looney to contest and open up the roll, but it's Rui Hachimura, and the roll's not there. Bad decision. This gets mugged. Lonnie attacks the closeout. Good dump off. LeBron just makes that. Okay, so that's the third quarter. We've got one left. If you've noticed my screen getting gradually darker, that's the night mode turning on. All right, what do we got? Snap, follow with the ball screen. LeBron passes too early to Lonnie on the Stampede cut. He passes too early. And nothing going on because LeBron passed too early. All to set up a Dennis Schroeder 3. Yuck. Why not run that with D'Lo? If you're doing that on purpose, put D'Lo there. That's a bad shot. This offense stinks. I think this offensive performance, I mean, not just like on the season or the playbook, like this game, very bad. Process-wise, this stinks. Icing. Get Steven Chenzo up in the air, but tough shot there. Ron almost gets the ball stolen. 80 here. Steven Chenzo, nice help. This is never going to be past the big makes, but Reeves is in a good spot here. He tries to jump kind of into Draymond instead of actually going up, and because he's going in, Draymond ends up higher than him. That was a soft finish attempt by Anthony Davis. Lakers flip into the double drag. Golden State reads it, ices the high ball screen. LA flips the screen. Nothing going on. 10 on the clock, nothing going on. Absolutely nothing happening. This is so many plays. They don't give up a switch just to give up a switch. Here, AD's roll gravity, though, is a problem. Draymond stays home, and that opens up the LeBron midi. You can get ball screens to the middle, you get good results. Here's that like pick and pop Euro. So the Euro cut into the handoff for the empty ball screen. This is a play the Lakers have run on the regular season that was not very good, but this is a way to get a ball screen on an empty side. It's not iced. So this is actually a pretty, I had not thought about this play because this play has been like really crappy on the year. But this could be a series where that play makes sense to utilize. Ball screen, no ice. Heavy stunt off Reeves. The ball is passed to his left. Still able to attack the closeout, put it in. See, ball screens middle, get good results. All you have to do is get ball screens to the middle. You're going to get good results. Not as much anymore without AD, but Dennis just loses it there. Mismatch layup. 10-point game. 6 minutes left, but no AD. 14-point game, 5.5 left. Reeves with a deep three, puts it in. Jeez. Probably didn't need to be that far out. Yeah, process was I did not like what I was seeing with this Lakers offense. In the first quarter, we saw them hit some shots anyway. We've seen a lot of rough stuff. Here in the fourth quarter, it's been better. There's been a lot of bad, but we've actually seen them be able to generate some of those middle drives. Go under on the switch. Bang. Like LeBron is a screener with these smaller lineups. Anytime you get that north-south angle, you're not going to be able to ice. That's when you look to hit the short roll. Nothing going on. Dennis drives. Good defense. Oh, LeBron. Nice. He's able to face cut Klay Thompson. Does not box out. Corner ball screen. Decent look, but for a guy who's not a good pull three-point shooter. And we're now at garbage time. So that'll do it for us today, folks. Thank you again for joining in. If you joined late and you're curious about how the Lakers defense looked against the Warriors offense, we covered that earlier today. We'll be back tomorrow for the game on Friday. So join us here at Lakers Watch Party on Playback. Based on what I saw today, I need to do some ruminating. I need to do some thinking. I'll probably put some tweets out tonight about what I've seen. This is the first time I've gone through the film. I did not do this ahead of time and then just go through it with you for show. This is me and my thoughts watching it live. And man, these single days off between games is killing me from a content standpoint. I'll get some thoughts out tonight. I saw stuff on the defensive end of the court that makes me think the Lakers will be in okay shape if they clean up the offense, if they clean up that transition defense. And we saw some things in the fourth quarter of this performance here with the offense that was starting to look good. And we've seen part of what gives me faith is that the icing pick and roll defense that Golden State's having so much success with is something the Lakers have already solved earlier this series. And so if they can just pull back on some of those same concepts, they'll be able to go in and perform much better on offense. So this is one where I have confidence because they should know what they're doing here. And I still, at this point, given what I've seen, and maybe adjust this later, I'm still thinking Lakers in 6. I think the Lakers can close this out tomorrow at home. As long as AD's playing, we saw here on the stream, Wiggins is he's questionable. If he doesn't play and AD plays, and Lakers just run some ice beaters and they keep doing what they're doing on defense and maybe stick with the high drop a little bit, Lakers in 6. Nothing I saw here has me scared. Nothing I saw here has me like, oh no, what are we going to do? Small tweaks on the offensive end will completely unlock the offense. It'll unlock the rim. You'll get more free throws. You'll get more putbacks. You'll get more easy shots. You'll set up your defense better. And then the defense we saw here in game 5 with better transition defense due to a better offense may win them the game. Like that's good enough to win tomorrow. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. Golden State doesn't have much more to throw at the Lakers offensively. I think they've done everything they can do. They've run out of concepts from what I can tell. So as long as the Lakers offense goes back to those same concepts that were working, their offense will be fine. Golden State doesn't have any tricks left in the bag. That tweak for the Lakers, beating that icing defense, puts the Lakers on the high ground tactically on offense, sets up the defense better, and they'll win in 6. So that is what this comes down to. Can the Lakers beat ice coverage? And we've seen them do it. So you should be confident that they can do it again. So that's all I've got. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. We'll see you next time. Take care.